Yo, what's going on today, boys? Joey here, Joe Throws. Kind of a different video today. I'm gonna do something that probably a few people have done, but I'm gonna talk about my career and I think how it can help a lot of people. Um, because I misinterpreted a lot of things when I played, for sure. So growing up, obviously, I was nowhere near the best player. I was kind of low to middle of the pack. Um, and growing up, I was, obviously I loved it. I always wanted to play at a high level. It was my baseball is my everything. It still is. I still love it, but I always knew that I wanted to play in the major leagues. That was my dream. My dad took me to Fenway Park when I was 6 years old, and I fell in love. It was July 4th, 2010, and I wore like I wore a jersey and pants. I looked like a player, and I told my dad, I was like, man, like one day I want to be here. And yeah, so I ended up just never really ever got away from the game. I always had lessons. I always like went to people for pitching because I was a pretty big kid for my age. I'm not big. I was pretty good size. I always pitched. I always hit. I love to pit. Um, and then I got to high school and a lot of things happen that you shouldn't do as a player, or like I would give advice to high schoolers, like you shouldn't do these things. Um, so my freshman year, I was just I was a weak, I was quiet, I was nervous about every single day. I didn't have any confidence. This is going to be a big part. That's going to be a big part of this video, confidence. But yeah, I was very quiet. I mean, there was guys in the team that were going to go play Division 1. Like there was guys that could get drafted. There was guys that even freshmen that were so much more talented than me just because of their mind, not even because of anything else. Um, yeah, so I struggled to throw the ball over the plate because I was so scared of like hitting somebody or giving up a walk. I didn't understand how to locate. I couldn't face my fear of pitching in the game and being able to throw the ball over the plate. I don't know what it was. I just had this like fixed mindset where it was like, I can't do this. And my hitting was not great. I didn't have any power. I wasn't strong, so it was tough for me. I used to play third in travel ball. I wasn't good. I was terrible. And then I moved to the outfield, and I was not bad. I was okay, but it never really, I didn't really start lifting weights until I got to high school. And yeah, so I was a really weak kid. Um, my second year, like throughout high school, I struggled to throw the ball over the plate. I never really got to a point until my junior year, the COVID season. I was actually starting to pitch. I never really played. I didn't play on varsity till my junior year because of how good we were and how like un uh developed I was. I wasn't developed enough just in the mind. Like I was just playing baseball. I didn't understand like how to think, how to act, like what how to get into a routine at all. I wasn't even close to that point in my life. And yeah, so my senior year, I went out and I was like, man, I want to play college baseball. And I started like texting other coaches. Um, I had a few offers, nothing crazy, obviously, like Division 3, one junior college, but it wasn't even in Florida. It was in California, and I didn't take that. Um, yeah, nothing big. I think I topped like 83, 84 my senior year, but I didn't pitch at all. I didn't even throw. I barely hit. I think I got 3 at bats my senior year of high school because of how good we were and how much I wasn't good enough to play. And then I never pitched because I couldn't throw strikes. That's really what it came down to. If you can't throw strikes in college, high school, like they're not going to pitch. That's how it. If you can do that, you're going to be okay. But Yeah, so I was just looking around for a school to try to play somewhere, and I found NVU Linden, and it was I didn't understand what I was getting into until I went. It was kind of crazy. I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, like I'm really going to a school that's on the base of the other side, on the top of the world, on top of the United States, near Canada. I didn't know what I was getting myself into because I never was around the cold in the winter. Um, so yeah, it was definitely a change for me. And yeah, when I got there, I was definitely a little nervous. I was 100% nervous because I didn't know how good these guys were. I didn't know how good the players were. Obviously, like Florida's a completely different level, but I wasn't, mentally prepared to throw in a game. I was I was gonna be a two-way, and then I just decided that, okay, like I'm not good enough to hit because some people just, tell you, oh, you're not good enough, and you just lose like that confidence. So I lost like a lot of it just from like not playing, and then when I did play, I struggled. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop hitting, and I'm just gonna try to be a PO and throw 90 miles an hour, which is, you know, sure, that's cool, but I love to hit. I love to play outfield. I wish I would have two-way when I was a freshman and stayed like that for my 4 years, but didn't end up doing that. But no, but yeah, so I got to school. I met a lot of friends. I still talk to all of them. Love all those boys. But yeah, I fall ball started my first outing. Yeah, I think I walked like four people. I just couldn't find the zone. I wasn't using my body. I also just wasn't thinking. I was so worried. I was so nervous. Like I was so worried about everything instead of just like going out there and having fun. That's the biggest thing for me. And I think a lot of people is understand is like go out there and compete and have fun. Like this game doesn't last forever. Like one bad game isn't going to kill you. It's really not. And I wish I understood that at a younger age. And yeah, so my first fall ball was in Vermont at Vermont State wasn't bad. I actually pitched pretty well. After that, I got a lot better. I started to figure out how to throw strikes. Wasn't throwing hard. I was probably throwing like 77, 78, maybe 79. My off speed, I really didn't know how to throw that, honestly, dude. I I think one of my buddies taught me how to throw a slider, and I just started throwing sliders. And I always had natural cut to my fastball. So like everything was just moving, which was cool, but at the same time, it's like, man, like I don't want to throw a cutter when I'm throwing my four seamer, but it is what it is. And yeah, so fall ball was good. And then I started um realizing that after fall ball, it starts to get too cold. So you can't go outside. You can't go long toss whenever you want, like how I used to do. You can't go hit or go to a field or do anything. You have to go to the gym and you have to throw indoors. And the biggest thing I regret is that I threw, but I did only plyo balls. And I completely realized that that ruined the next 2 years of my career because I decided that, oh, I'm going to throw these plyo balls and they're going to fix every little mechanical adjustment I need to make. And it completely like blew up in my face. My arm got pushy. I started to yip. Like I had the yips for probably 2 years. Sometimes it was bad, other days it was fine. It was up and down for sure. There was days where it was good, there was days where it was bad. And it was mainly because I was so worried about what everybody else was thinking, while I should just be worried about myself. And I never understood that. And I never could like throw with a lot of people around me because I was worried I was going to throw one like over someone's head. I was worried I was going to do all these different things, like worrying about the worst possible scenario. I wasn't just trying to get outs and have fun. Um, but I mean, my freshman year, it wasn't that bad. I actually didn't pitch that bad. I struggled at the end for sure, but my first couple outings when I pitched actually were pretty decent. I pitched in Florida, I did decent, but I didn't pitch for a while after that, and it was a little frustrating. But I couldn't. I was a freshman, so obviously I didn't understand that, you're not going to get as many any chances as you want, and it's not like, and if you're not performing, like you should be out there. Um, so I was like, I started getting frustrated. I started getting, losing confidence. I started getting negative, and obviously I didn't tell anybody this. I was just doing this to myself. Like I was literally having like my mind was already like fatigued before I practiced or get played or was getting into a game because I was so worried about everything. Like there wasn't a thing I wasn't worried about. Um, I Yeah, so freshman year ended. It was fine. Like I wasn't bad. I didn't play. I don't think I played summer ball. I just trained. I tried to just gain velocity, which is a terrible thing. Not that gaining velocity was bad, but I need to work on like command and like commanding pitches in the zone and getting outs because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Like velocity's awesome. I still train it all the time. I'm still trying to do that, but I didn't worry about throwing in games, which has killed me the next 2 years of my career. So, and obviously we got a new coach. So that was, I get a new fresh start, which is obviously was great. And going into the fall ball my sophomore year, I pitched well. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think I threw like 7 innings, but I had the low ERA. I think I walked like two people. I don't know what happened. I was just letting it rip. I wasn't worried about anything. And it was great. Like again, like I was great in the fall, but I didn't throw that many innings. I was a reliever. I was like 1 inning, 1 to 2 innings. Um, yeah, so I feeling good, ready to go. I was probably gonna be like a middle reliever guy, maybe work into like a spot start. Hopefully. That was my goal. But yeah, things went very south um after that. It was definitely like I never I in the off season after fall ball my sophomore year I just again I worked with this company. I'm not going to say who they are, but I was so worried about mechanics. I was so worried about where my arm was, where my body was moving, like, and you know all I did was just do plyo balls again. And this time it was worse because I would throw it like 2 feet away from me. And I would be like, okay, like maybe I'm getting into a better position here. Maybe I'm doing better here. Maybe I'm doing better here. And it it was not good. I kept like trying to force everything. My body was so tense. I didn't wasn't my mobility wasn't bad, but it literally was just like my mindset and how I was feeling when I was throwing off the mound. Like I was so nervous because for one, I didn't like throwing with a batter in the box. I hated it, and I had to learn over time that that's what gets you to throw strikes is having a batter stand in during your bullpens. We're going to talk about that later a little bit, but yeah. So obviously. I think I threw 2 innings my sophomore year. I had 10 walks, which was terrible. I mean, that's unbelievably bad. Uh, I just couldn't figure it out. There were games where everybody like I would just be so nervous because like I knew like I didn't see success, and me like just yipping up all the time like makes it tough because you're like holy crap, like what am I gonna do now? Like what like and at the end of the day, like nobody's gonna save you. Like your teammates, your coaches, your parents, your friends, like they don't know what to do. They're not in your shoes. They don't understand, and you don't understand them, and you'll never know until you figure it out. And that's what I learned from this like a bunch of failure for the first 3 years of my career in college baseball. I just constantly would like be like, man, like what, like I literally right after games, I would go on my phone and I'd be like, how to throw strikes on TikTok, how to throw strikes on Instagram, how to throw strikes on YouTube. I was like killing my brain, and it was unbelievable. Like it was crazy. And everybody knows this, that I played with, but it's like it's insane. I damaged my brain, and I constantly was like, man, like how am I not able to do this? But I should be able to. And it was all because of my mindset. I was so like in bullpens. There were bullpens like pregame pens where I was supposed to go into the game. I probably missed the catcher by third. Like I probably like spiked four fastballs before I even got one to his like fate, like his mitt. I would have to. I was more comfortable throwing sliders than fastballs. Like, and it was crazy because my fastball, I would just either like yip up or it would like spike, or I would like, and I was just so I didn't like when the hitter was in the box because I was like, dude, like, what if I hit him? What if this? And it's just, it was the dumbest thing of all time. And I hope no anybody who watches this, I hope you like um what I would say to you is understand that you need to have a routine. You need to have a mind that gives you the opportunity to go out there and compete. You need to have a set time and set date of your arm care, of your throwing, of your mental game, of your bullpens, of your long toss. Like that is what changed everything. And yeah, so sophomore year was terrible. I couldn't throw strikes. Um, yeah, I literally like there was nothing I could do that could get in the zone. In the summer, I tried to play in the summer collegiate league in Florida. Didn't go well, didn't pitch well, didn't throw a lot of strikes. I would throw live ABs, but it would be with a buddy of mine who I knew, and I was comfortable. Like I wasn't comfortable around a lot of people from our team because I was so used to just like not giving up or not getting like strikes with them. I was so like going to Linden made me realize like I could like why can't I just throw strikes? Like I could never do it. I could never just go play with my college team and be able to get into the zone. Like I could long toss, everything was fine. Everything was fine when I would play catch. But right when I got to the pen, I was like, dude. And then there would be pens where I was amazing. Like I was good. And live ABs where I was good. But then it's just like I wasn't consistent. I was so inconsistent. I wasn't throwing the ball over the plate. I was just I would airmail it or I'd spike it, and then here comes, the coach to pull me, and nobody knows what to say to you because what are you going to say, And you don't want anyone to, you don't really care. Like nothing's going to work. Like if you tell somebody, like after somebody comes out of a game, they walk guys or they give a bunch of runs, they don't want to talk to you. They're just like, they're just pissed off, and that's how it goes. And I could never like, I didn't like talking about it. I never talked about it. I used to get very like, I used to like kind of quiet down whenever we would talk about like how to get not get better. I obviously wanted to get better, but how to like why I'm not throwing strikes. Like I couldn't face my fear of like walking people. I couldn't tell people that because I was so worried that everybody would like talk about it. I don't know. I don't know. It was the dumbest thing of all time. I'm telling you right now, right now, dude, it was literally like one of the dumbest things you'll ever hear. I just couldn't throw the ball over the plate. It was crazy. It was like you go up there and you're like everything's good in the pen. I remember one time like my coach told my head coach that, and everybody was pumped because like you're hoping that I finish the inning, if that, which is crazy. And yeah, and then I go out there and I walk four guys, and that was my season, and I was just so beat up from like the fact that I just couldn't throw strikes. So I pretty much just I had to get rid of a lot of things. Um, what helped me a lot was just realizing like being honest with myself. I was able to be honest, and I was able to tell like I was able to talk about it a lot more from just being honest and like understanding like this is my fault. Like this is on me, nobody else. And it helped because I was able to realize that if I'm able to have a plan and I'm able to fix this, then there's no problem with me being the best pitcher on the team. And there's no problem with me like walking one or two guys, and you can't lose like your mind. Your mind can't go anywhere. And so so obviously that summer I started working with someone. He was unbelievable. I still am working with him. He's awesome. He really helped me out a lot just from the fact that he got me doing like athletic throwing. He got me doing like he had me we talked for a long time about how to like what's the problem, because this isn't like I thought this was only me. Like I thought it was only like I was the only one dealing with this out of anybody in the world. because you feel that way. Like you feel like you're isolated on an island by yourself and everybody's like doesn't know how to help you. And so this guy helped me immensely. And obviously my dad, he was a big part of it as well. Like he was awesome. He helped me along the way as well as my mom. And they just were very supportive about it and it was awesome. So I pretty much going into my senior year, I told my coach, I was like, listen, I don't want to be a reliever anymore. They never throw. I want to be a starter. And obviously, he told me that, Joey, it's going to be tough because you haven't thrown in any competitive innings. You haven't given us you haven't shown us that you can do this. So I had to put in the work and it took a lot. I remember I pitched in a men's league game, and it was that down bad. I pitched in a men's league game, my first outing. I think I walked four guys in a row, and it was like July 15th going into my senior year, and I was like, oh my God, here we go again. I was like, is this really gonna happen again? And I was like, man, like when is this gonna end? And I had to stick with the process. I didn't stick with the process. I was so fixated on the result. So then, obviously, the next outing was great. I think I went obviously, the men's league outing was great. I was fine after that. But so you get back to school, right? My senior year. And, everybody knows I can lift a bunch of weight. Everybody knows I'm mobile, but it just came down to competing and having fun and wanting to win. I told my coach that I'm like, I just want to win. Like, I want to get out there and I want to win games. I want to get out there and I want to compete, and I think that changed a lot for him because it showed that I cared about the team and I cared about winning. I cared about this program. So my fall ball, it went pretty solid. I threw 20 innings in the fall, and I think I had second or third most Ks. My walks were still a little high just because in the beginning I walked a few people, but it was way better than what you would think. I think I had like 20 walks in 20 innings, but if I'm being completely honest, like six of those walks were from the first weekend. Um, yeah, so but the thing is I had a routine during fall ball, and that started before fall ball. I used to call my buddy Matt Gagno, shout out Matt Gagno. I called him. We would do bullpens every week before games. On the weekend, and I would do like 3-0 counts or 2-1 counts or 2-2 counts, but I would have a batter, have a tee, something in the box. And I would do that for I did that for such a long period of time. And another guy, Carter Paquette, like I would get him and I would get Tiki, the Ian Tremble, these two freshmen. I would bring them and, you know, Carter would catch me and I would have Tiki stand in and then we would do live ABs, and I just could consciously did that in the winter. I didn't stop throwing pens because throwing off the mound is more important than throwing a plyo ball to me, like especially if you're trying to compete. And so yeah, I started doing that, and it was unbelievable. I go into the spring. I'm like, dude, I got a shot at being one of our better starters for sure. And I mean, it was definitely it was definitely my best season of my college career, my senior year, because I was able to be okay, and I was so like focused, and I was also having fun. Like I wasn't worried about everything. I was going out there and I was competing. I was trying to have fun with my boys. I wasn't feeling sorry for myself anymore, and I was just being okay with failing. I was okay with it. I wasn't okay with it before, and I hope like a lot of ball players, especially like nowadays, I hope they understand that it's okay to fail and it's okay to get knocked down, but you can always push through. Like there's always something you can do. You can always understand how to throw strikes. Throwing strikes is achievable. You just have to have a good mindset. You have to have a good plan, and you have to go out there and give it your best and have some aggression. Like you gotta basically have an FU mentality, like a fuck you mentality, like fuck you. Like you don't want this hitter to get on base. You want to get him out. And that changed everything for me. It changed everything. I I fully believe that that was the reason why. And I was having fun with my boys, just having fun with the guys. It was my last year, and I'm not gonna say I regret anything, but if I wish I wanted to be able to understand that this was why I changed everything. And it completely helped my career. It helped me mentally. Like I'm such a better person because of what I've went through. And I'm able to understand that this is what who I am and this is how I can be in the real world and with anything in life. And honestly, that's how you can change. Just by being yourself and not like trying to be like other people, you know? I was trying to be like other people. I wasn't trying to be myself. I was trying to do everything everybody else was doing. And it didn't it was it was definitely a humbling experience for sure. And I hope that to anybody who watches this that don't ever get discouraged. Don't. Don't ever let someone tell you like you can't do something. Like you can always do something. It's all in your mind. That's literally baseball. It's 90% mental and I learned that. Just visualize and achieve success and realize like you're the man. And but you also have to be able to be humble about it. Like you got to put in the work. You can't just say you're the man and you don't go in there and you don't work your butt off for however many months and you don't show the coaches why you should be in the team, why you should be on the mound, why you should be at the plate, so on and so forth. But yeah, so that's my career kind of. You know, thank you so much if you watch this. Hopefully you took something out of this for your own career and Joe throws out, man. Peace.